As with all problems we want to solve, then it's a good idea to generate some ideas, some different ideas maybe, and then choose the best one. But really, before that, we should look at some research about levers. And there are various videos available on the channel all about levers. And the key thing being that a lever has to have a point called a pivot or a fulcrum around which it can move. And the pivot or fulcrum holds the lever in position, but it lets the opposite ends move. The lever doesn't have to be pivoted in the centre, it could be pivoted anywhere along its length. And straight away when you do that, you start to think about the way in which your fingers move, and these could be your fingers if there were two of them perhaps, and then create the action of a lever. Maybe the pivot could be right at this end. That's rather strange. There's nothing to hold on to now, but of course we could move a point here. There we are, and it creates movement at the end. So levers can be in all different forms, but essentially a pivot is used in order to keep the lever in position but still let it move in the special way that it does. So a levers board is a useful thing to experiment with to help with our ideas. Failing that, let's just get straight on. So if these were the strips that we've got in order to create the levers and do the picking up, let's have a go. There's a pencil rubber there. And do the picking up. There we go. How about just keeping that one still? This one moves. Yeah, that seems to work as well. But we can't operate these levers because that defeats the whole object of having the long piece of material which is remote from where we want to pick the object up. So there's the object that's going to be picked up. We're at this end, the opposite end, and we're doing something that lets us pick that up. So we've got to choose some of the material to go at that end and some of the material to go at the other. Let's keep a piece in reserve. So what could we do? Well, this one, there we are, just holding your fingers in position, could be a lever, could be like that. Now if we do that, we haven't left any room for us to hold on to the actual arm itself. So maybe move it like that. So you've got room. Let's just hold it there. There we are. So if we could get a lever to operate on there, that might help us create the movement at the opposite end. And at this opposite end where the action happens, where we want to be able to pick up the object, we need that sort of idea that, well, you need possibly two things that move and clamp together, or maybe you need one that stays still and the other one pushes against it and clamps it against the one that doesn't move. So you might have a moving arm and a fixed arm. So this one couldn't be called the lever. I suppose this is the only moving one, so that would be the lever. So we'll have a lever at this end, a lever at this end, and now we've got to decide on the positions of the pivot. Now these map pins are very, very useful. So here you got me for the map pin. The map pins are very, very useful because they would allow us to trial whereabouts we want to fit these parts. So let's say we've got that one that's going to go there, room for you to hold. This one's going to be the fixed one, and that one is going to be a moving one. There we go. Let's just give it a try. So maybe do this by measurement, you might get a better result. 15 centimeters long, 7.5 centimeters, point in the middle. A point further along. There we are. And there's our trial sort of pivot there. That one's going to be the fixed one. That one could be pivoted there with another map pin. Well, try experimenting with that, see how far you get with it, and then make your mind up. Where do you want the pivot? Oh, by the way, we didn't show you. Strings also very useful in addition to elastic bands, but we'll not worry about the elastic bands just yet. But the string provides a way to transmit the motion from the lever that you're going to operate at this end and transmit that motion to the arm that moves. So can you imagine we pull on the string, it lifts the lever round. Pull on the string, it opens the jaw. Perhaps pull on the string and it closes the jaw. We don't know that one yet.
Fabulous.